Hi everyone, and welcome to StudioJake. I, of course, am your host, Jacob Airy. So today is going to be kind of special. You'll find out why later on. Today I wanted to talk about SJWs going wild, and I've got a very interesting story that I'm going to read to you, and it's just indicative to me of the SJWs and the PC culture and how it is affecting your favorite franchises, whether they be anime or television or science fiction or comic books. And I think this story is one that really hits home. So I'm going to talk about that. So if you're on YouTube, be sure to like this video, share it out, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also ring the bell because YouTube is doing this thing where it's curating your subscription feed, so you may not see everything in chronological order. So ring the little bell, that way you get notifications. And also, if you're on Facebook, like this video, share it to all your friends, follow me on Facebook. Author Jacob Airy is the Facebook page, so definitely do that there as well. With that in mind, sit back, relax, and welcome to StudioJake. Okay, so what's new? Now, I don't really like to talk about the Vic Mignogna cases, his lawsuits and everything, because I have been very public about my stance on Vic's, I should say about the accusations against Vic. Personally, I think that they are salacious. I think they fall apart under scrutiny, and I have tweeted support. I stand with Vic, hashtag I stand with Vic. I actually know someone who knows Vic, believe it or not, and this person, who I will not identify, I don't want to send the KickVic trolls after my acquaintance, but he actually knows Vic, and he says, yeah, Vic, he's kind of an arrogant guy, but he's not any more arrogant than you see some of these celebrities who, voice anime roles or video game roles. They tend to think that they're hot stuff and whatnot, and so so you're saying, yeah, he's kind of big on himself, but he is in no way, shape, or form any sort of sexual harasser or anything like that. Now, a lot of the KickVic people, of course, had gotten support from some of Vic's old people who work for him. So you got Monica Rao, who's being sued by Vic. He's suing her for defamation. He lost in the first round of court, but he has officially appealed, and his lawyer is taking that to court. So I don't believe Vic did any of this stuff. Like I said, the accusations, they crumble after the smallest amount of scrutiny, and the most you can get on him is they say Vic is a jerk sometimes. Okay, fine, everyone's a jerk sometimes. Y'all have listened to my podcast and my web show prior. I can be a jerk sometimes. We're all jerks. But the KickVic movement is an SJW movement, and it's targeting Vic in the same way they tried to go after, I don't want to compare Vic to this guy, but Sean Hannity. I'm not saying Sean Hannity is bad, but there was a woman who made accusations against Sean Hannity. If you heard that popping, that's because my dog just stepped over something and went. But anyway, Sean Hannity had some accusations leveled against him, but it turns out that the person who made the accusations, she got real specific with the date and time, which to me makes accusations more believable if you have a specific date, time, and place. But the issue is Hannity had witnesses that actually corroborated his side of the story, and so those accusations went away against the Fox News host. So it's a similar situation with Vic. Whenever someone says, oh, I remember this time and this place, and this person was a witness, that they'll bring in that witness and let's get, actually, I don't remember any of that happening. I don't remember that person happening that way. But the KickVic campaign is incredibly vicious. And like I say, I don't usually talk about it because on Twitter I have been very supportive of Vic. I stand by Vic. I stand with Vic, as as they say, I think Funimation did the wrong thing by firing him for, you know, he was the voice of Broly in the Dragon Ball Z universe, and he had voiced Broly most recently in Dragon Ball Super Broly, which actually brought Broly into canon. Because before, the old films with Broly, they were actually out of canon. The Dragon Ball Z films, with the exception of the first Garlic Jr. film. I can't remember what it's called. The Dead Zone, Dragon Ball Z: The Dead Zone. That one is not considered canon, and also possibly Wrath of the Dragon, because they haven't really ever explained where Future Trunks got his sword. The Wrath of the Dragon gives it, and also those are the only two films that Akira Toriyama worked on until Dragon Ball Super Broly, or at least had, you know, a more than just kind of an overseer role. So anyway, it brought Dragon Ball Super Broly brought Broly into the mainstream Dragon Ball Z universe, and Vic was the voice of Broly. He had way more dialogue. In most of the movies, he just kind of goes, Kakarot, Kakarot. But he actually had lines of dialogue in this particular film, and I have a review of it online on my blog, so head over there and read that. So anyway, back to KickVic. KickVic is one of the most vicious SJW campaigns I have ever seen. They regularly engage in smears and lies, and just to harass people who are supporting Vic, including me. Now, I've not been the target of KickVic people. I might after this video, but I just mean I have seen it happen to people who say, listen, I don't think these accusations are real. I think they fall apart upon scrutiny. And I think Sean Shamal, who voices Goku, I think he was really he should have supported Vic in this, but he backed, you know, he didn't. He backed the wrong horse, and shame on him. Shame on him for that. Same with Monica Rowell. You know, I hate to say that because I'm a big fan of both of their acting talent, but I think that they should have stood by Vic at least until there was more to go on besides just some salacious accusations. So the KickVic campaign hit a whole new low like you would not believe. A YouTuber who goes by the name of Chidorita Bag, I guess. And this is from Bounding Into Comics. And one thing I love about Bounding Into Comics is, unlike a lot of the SJW websites or the SJW supporting websites, Bounding Into Comics, and I've supported them before, probably just this week. They're a great resource for people who are tired of SJW spin and politically correct spin on everything. They actually post receipts, and that's what they call screenshots or links to people who have done these stupid things. So Chidorita Bag actually called for people to beat up Vic. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever read, and I think that it's so insane. Chidorita Bag called for people to basically create a riot around him and just basically engage in gang beating him up, and it's just so pathetic and so low. So, but another YouTuber named Hirahai, he actually screen captured it and put it in one of his YouTube channels. So anyway, this is what, and that's how Bounding Into Comics got it. So this is what Chidorita Bag said. This is bright. Anyways, I have this really cool idea. We should all, like us, anime fans, anime ganger people, we all know of the infamous Vic Mignogna, right? Well, I thought maybe, just maybe, we could all get in a group, and like, if we see him in public, we should gather up around him and we should beat him up. So that was my own emphasis there. So, of course, was called out for this. Chidorita Bag called people who were, all the critics, Vic Mignogna fanboys, and then he tried to double down, and it just was not working. Chidorita Bag was getting ratioed and called out like you would not believe. And so like, oh no, the Vic Mignogna fanboys are after me now because I said we should beat, which beat is spelled B3AT, him up. The Vic stands are mad, LOL. It just goes on in this more hateful thing. I posted this meme of an anime character I don't recognize, and it said, I hate Vic defenders so much it's unreal. It's like, okay, pal. And then someone tweeted at, which they shouldn't have done, you're an effing potato, mate. And Chitterita Bag said, would you rather be a potato than defending a pedophile and a sexual abuser? Okay, so this is actually accusing Vic of being a pedophile. No one has ever made that accusation. They said that there's this picture of Vic, and he is taking a picture with a fan, and she's 16, and he has his arm around her. To my knowledge, that fan, nor anyone else, has ever made a claim against him. Other people have made claims on this behalf, but calling someone a pedophile when people like Onision exist out there, come on now, you've got to be kidding me. So then Chitterita Bag continues to face this mounting, Chitterita Bag continues to face these accusations and finally just deletes the video, and it's so pathetic. So now he backtracks like you would not believe. I hope y'all know I'm not actually a violent person. Chitterita Bag writes on Twitter, and then I was just making a comment because I started getting into RWBY because my best friend, who I love so much, loves it. And like hearing Vic as Growl is kind of gritting, and then I remember all the roles he's done in various media that I've consumed, and like I just feel gross having to hear his voice when he has double-digit numbers of accusations against him. Like, I was once a big fan of Vic, but as soon as all the accusations started to come up, I dropped him right away. Notice I said when the accusations, not when there was proof. When the accusations themselves came up, then popped up. So then he continues, most cases of assault are not false reports, so even if you think anyone is lying, there is no, in all caps, way, all, in all caps, those people are lying. And then he puts like a weird emoji I've never seen before. Anyway, I was just making jokes with my friends. I'm actually trying to organize a threat on some dude. I'm sorry, and I know that threats are serious. At the end of the day, I'm actually a very peaceful person. Yeah, right. All I want is a simple life with someone I love dearly and a cat or something. We make cookies at midnight and watch anime together. We kiss under the covers. The bed is lined with plushies. Life is good. And, okay, so a couple of problems with this, but they shouldn't have made these accusations against Vic in this way. I think that's kind of sad. Personally, I think it's pathetic. I think that it just shows how far the SJWs are willing to take this. You give them an inch, you give them a mile. So how did they affect the comic books? Well, just look at Marvel Comics. They fell all in on the SJW business, and it started with the Ultimate Comics. I actually had someone push back on this because they said, well, you know, the Ultimate comic books, you know, they actually had a really good story arc for Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Captain America, and Ultimate Iron Man. Yes, when Orson Scott Card was writing Ultimate Iron Man, fantastic, great, amazing. Ultimate Captain America by Jason Aaron, fantastic, loved it. Ultimate Spider-Man, the first 10 issues are incredible. Then it started to go downhill a little bit. They started letting these writers get away with anything, where they included themes of incest and rape and all these like dark storylines that no one asked for and no one wanted. And it you can kind of see, because right, the Ultimate comic books went away. There was even talk at one time where the Ultimate comic books would become the mainstream Marvel universe, and like I said, that went away, thank goodness. But anyway, I just think that this is where this political correctness went. Now, I'm not opposed to someone who is a liberal putting liberal themes in their art. I've actually watched movies that I've given good reviews for that have liberal themes. I'm a conservative. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with a leftist writer putting in their stuff. I wouldn't expect them to put conservative values or family values in those forms. Certainly if you watch Star Trek, and here's a perfect example. Star Trek The Next Generation It's clearly written with a liberal bias and a liberal stance. Religion is somewhat mocked throughout the show. Science is praised. You know, the Federation, there's no one poor because everyone is equal and there's no money. So obviously written with a liberal stance, but Star Trek The Next Generation is still a good show because it didn't use its politics as, it didn't make politics its setting. It just put those facets in there so you could kind of go with the flow, even in like me, if you didn't agree with those values. It still made sense. But what these SJWs, they want the leftist ideology to be their setting. And if you don't like it, they throw these temper tantrums to the point where they're just exploding and they're going crazy and they're talking about plushies. And then they genuinely don't understand when people push back against them. So like this Cheetorita bag throws this hissy fit, goes off insane, can't believe that, and then doesn't understand why people are saying, hey, you shouldn't call for violence against someone, and even if some of these people might even agree with Cheetorita Bag that Vic is guilty, but still, you shouldn't call for violence in someone. Everyone should go through due process. For instance, Harvey Weinstein is going through trial right now. He should go through trial. It's important for him to go through trial. That way we can see where it all ends, and hopefully it ends with him in prison. But in Vic's case, I just don't see it. I honestly think this is what happened. There was one person who started this campaign, and then like anything else, once the boat got launched, all these people started jumping on the boat. And I honestly believe that that's what happened in Vic's case. He may have been a jerk to some of these women. He may have been off-putting to them, but that does not equal the accusations that he is being levied against. And certainly he doesn't deserve to get beat up. But that's where political correctness, that's where this SJW lifestyle goes. It goes to calls for violence when they don't get their ways. But I have to give credit where credit's due. Good for everyone for pushing back against this and saying, hey, it's not cool to make calls for violence. And so you got Cheetorita Bag to apologize and all this stuff. And I really hope that this is a lesson for everyone in the future. With that in mind, that's all the time I have left for today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me on Twitter @RealJacobAiry. Instagram is @RealJacobAiry. I mentioned earlier Facebook is author Jacob Airy. My blog is jacobairy.blog, JACOBAIREY.blog. And also be sure to buy a copy of my novel. It's a fantasy novel with magic and beautiful princesses and a prince, and he's got a mystical blue sword. His name is Prince Jasher, and he leads your favorite fairy tale characters on a mission to save their homeland from an evil mage named Fabius Thorn. You don't want to miss it. Pick it up on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Walmart.com, or you can get it directly from my publisher, BookLocker.com. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.